I'm all professional and stuff.
Right. Click.
Alright. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Wade. Blah, blah. Start that over. Went all government on it. My name is Barefoot Wade, and I am me.
Alrighty, Wade. How old are you?
I'm 43.
43. Alright. So 1980?
79.
79?
Yep. Caught the tail end of the 70s. Last 2 weeks of it.
Yeah, I still get to claim the first half of the 80s.
Nice.
And what do you do?
I play music, I'm an historian, and I'm a pirate.
Pirate?
Yes.
That's an unusual title these days.
It's a fun title. And I do pirate reenacting, and I also do some ghost tours on the side. I get to dress up like a pirate, so I just have a little bit of fun with that.
That's very cool. What's the very first memory that you can recall?
We were camping when I was really young. We were camping in Oklahoma, and a bunch of buffalo ran through the campsite that night, and we all had to run out of our tents and go hide in the cars for safety. I was pretty young at the time. My parents swear up and down there's no way I could remember that, but I do. And I even went back to the spot not too long ago, actually.
Oh, wow.
Found the spot again.
That's a good one. What would your dream job be?
I mean, for the most part, I'm doing it, but to take things a step further, I'd love to be in like a side band of Keller Williams or something like that. He's always got a lot of side projects. Be awesome to be in one of those.
Awesome. And who's that?
Keller Williams. He's the original one-man band guy. The rest of us just try to keep up with him.
Kind of one of those guys that can bring all of his own equipment and just pretty much be like, put on a full show for you.
Right. He paved the way for solo acts and one-man bands and the whole looping process. That most of that kind of gets contributed to him there for good reason. He's been doing it for a long time. He's got it down. He gets to play with everybody.
Very cool. Is there a dream that you've had that was so intense, so visceral that you still remember it to this day?
I have vivid dreams all the time, and I get messages through my dreams as well. And I'm pretty good at interpreting dreams. A common one I get are bridge dreams. I normally get them right before summer. They tell me how that summer is going to be or how the next few months are going to be, whatever the case is. If I'm going over a bridge and everything's really smooth, everything's going to work out really good for the next few months. If I go over that bridge and, I don't know, say fly off the side of it, I'm going to be in for some issues. Or if I go over that bridge and hit a roadblock in the middle of the bridge, I'm going to have some problems. But if I go over the bridge and everything feels good, then everything's going to be alright for a while.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, speaking of things like going over bridges, what's your greatest fear?
Well, I'm not super big on heights, but that's pretty well rounded there. Aside from that, I don't know. I'm trying to start a family here before too long, so I definitely want to stick around for the whole process. I'm starting this whole family thing a little late in life, so want to stick around as long as I can for that.
Do you remember the first pet you ever had?
Oh, we had a dog named Snoopy. We already had Snoopy when I was born. She was a smaller dog, kind of a mutt, black and white, obviously. Super nice dog.
Do you remember the first kiss you ever had?
Yep, that'd be at church camp.
Oh, wow. Alright. Let's see. Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Plenty. I love coffee. I love getting a B bar. They call it the Beaufort Dream at a crew bar. Every single day I have to talk myself out of one, and most days I lose that battle.
Yeah, Cookie made me one of those. Oh,
They're way too. Oh, especially if Cookie made it. She makes the best.
it
Yeah.
was delicious.
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies?
Plenty of hobbies. Some of those hobbies became professions, so it's a little hard to differentiate them sometimes. I like hiking, I like canoeing, any sort of boating, exploring, traveling, um, learning history, going to old cemeteries, um, trying to find shark's teeth and arrowheads and pottery and stuff like that. Sometimes with better luck than other times.
Very sweet. Do you know how to cook? And if so, what's your favorite dish to cook?
I cook a little bit. My wife's a better cook than I am. We made sushi last night. It's not really cooking, but it's fun.
I mean, still, I would count that. It's a meal.
Right?
I mean, like doing it from scratch, like laying the rice on and all the
Yeah.
toppings and stuff.
In some circles, I'm famous for my grilled cheese sandwiches.
Excellent. What's your favorite book that you've ever read?
Ooh, got a lot of books. That's a good question, Ed. I think it's even sprinkling out there right now. Didn't see that coming. Oh, favorite book I've read. Hard to narrow that down. There's so many good ones. I typically read nonfiction. I'm not super into fiction. I like watching fiction on movies, just not reading it. Bad thing is, I think it got narrowed down. I'm just blanking on what the name of that book's called. Come back to me on that one. I'll remember it later.
Alrighty. Is there anything basic or commonly done by most people that you don't know how to do?
Oh, plenty of things. Not really good at carpentry. It's not my forte. I need to start learning a few things of that nature, though, so I can be a little bit more self-sufficient on that. Need to learn more about boating. I mean, I've spent plenty of time on a boat before. I'm just not an expert at it. Far from a sea captain. Oh, here's a good one. I can't seem to remember anybody. That's my biggest issue. Just names and faces. They all just kind of blur together. And working in a bar. And this truck's going to be loud, so I'm going to stop. Yeah, we deal with them all the time. Did he run the stop sign this time? Yes, he did. You didn't know that for about 4 hours today there was a cop by that stop sign pulling everybody that was running it. Hope you can catch you next time, buddy. But yeah, I'm just bad at remembering faces and names and stuff like that. Oddly enough, I remember conversations. I just can't always piece the person together the next day who I had that conversation with. And that just boils down to me working in a bar. See 100 different people each night. I traveled for 15 years. It all blurs together. It does. I feel bad about it. Sorry. I try to learn people's names and faces and get it all down, but it just, more often than not, I fail miserably at that. Full disclosure.
What's your proudest moment?
Not sure if I've had it. Still waiting on that one. I've had some good moments, there's no doubt about that. I'm just not sure if I've hit the end-all be-all of the proudest moments yet. There was a gig I did at an amphitheater in Duck, North Carolina about, I forget how long ago that was now, 7, 8 years ago. It was really fun. It had a really strong crowd. It was several hundred people there. And I was the only one playing, so it wasn't like I was opening up for someone else. That one's always at the top of my memories. Gotten to sit in with Big Something a few times. They're always real fun. I like those guys a lot. Plenty of little memories like that, but I don't know if I've hit the one solid best one yet.
Have you ever had to make a major life decision that contributed to the life that you have now?
Yeah, something you could say it was made for me. On December 17th, 1999, I got fired from the movie theater I was working at. My girlfriend moved to Virginia, and a deer jumped out and totaled my truck.
Wow.
And that was the last conventional moment I think I ever had. After that, I decided I was going to do nothing but play music for the rest of my life, come hell or high water.
That's a pretty intense series of events.
It was. I mean, you know, I knew for several years that all I wanted to do was play music for a living. But, you know, that's much easier said than done, and there's not a really good book to teach you how to do that. So after that moment in my life, I figured I just wasn't meant to live that life anymore and dropped out of college shortly thereafter and just made my way in this world. And it worked out all right.
I'd say so. Do you have any major life regrets?
I mean, I always think a little regrets here and there, but then you start weighing in the factor of, well, had I done that differently, would I still be where I'm at now, or would I be somewhere different that might not be better? So, you ask me on a different day, I'd probably have a lot of answers for that, but today I don't. Well, I would have liked to have gotten my Eagle Scout. I got very close to getting it. Very, very close to getting it. And then I got an electric guitar. And then I just had blinders on for the rest of my life, and nothing else in this world mattered.
Got a guitar and forgot about the Scouts.
Basically.
What's the worst job that you've ever had?
Well, I had a handful of traditional jobs before I started playing music. I've had some bad gigs, though, that's for sure, as any musician will tell you. It'd be a little too hard to describe that.
Beer bottles being thrown at chicken wire?
I've had that. You know, just some nights are better than others. That's just what it boils down to in my line of work.
Yeah, I sympathize.
Some nights are great, some nights are okay, and some nights suck.
Let's see. What's your happiest memory?
Happiest memory? Well, I just got married in October. That was really awesome. We got married at Springer's Point and Ocracoke, and Springer's Point's a nature reserve where Blackbeard had his camp at. So we got married there during sunset because they have incredible sunsets, and everything just worked out really good for it. It was just good night in Ocracoke.
Congratulations again, buddy.
Thank you. And we went to Jamaica a couple weeks ago. That was pretty solid.
I saw the pictures that came up. I was so jealous.
Oh yeah, there'll be many more pictures to go. We're not even close to to wrapping up all those Facebook pictures.
Well, I guess that kind of helps lead to the next question. Have you ever been to another country?
Yeah, I've been to not as many as I would like. I always wanted to just do as much traveling as I can. And I did a good job of that in the States, but I haven't done a good job of that outside the U.S. I did get to go to New Zealand, and of course that was epic, because how could that not be? Been to Puerto Rico, but that's also kind of an American territory, so it's kind of on the fence there. And been to the American Virgin Islands and some of the British Virgin Islands, but I haven't spent as much time down there as I would have liked to have. But as far as statewide goes, I've been to all but 12 states, and I'm trying to hit all 50 states before I'm 50.
Nice.
It's kind of a tradition in our family on my mom's side to hit all 50 states.
Before you hit 50.
Not necessarily before I hit 50, that's my own spin on it.
Okay. Alright, well, speaking of lifelong goals, is there something that you want to accomplish before you die?
I want to start a family and hopefully stick around long enough for it, see it all happen, and hopefully have it all work out right. So we just got to see how time takes that journey.
Are you enjoying your experience right now?
Yep.
Excellent. It's been nothing but positive feedback.
No, this sucks. I'm over it.
Alrighty. What do you think is the meaning of life?
Do your thing. Try to help out others. Be a good steward to the earth.
I like that. Simple. Do you believe in ghosts or the paranormal?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever had any personal experiences?
Plenty. Enough anyway, Not so many that I couldn't count. I've probably had under 20. I'm normally not too scared of them. I'm pretty relaxed about them. Every once in a while, one will freak me out a little bit, though.
Do you remember any specific instance that pops to your head more than any other? Like if you hear little noises in the night, you end up thinking, oh, this might be this.
Well, sometimes, but truthfully, unlike a lot of people that believe in ghosts, I'm very skeptical of my experiences. When something happens, my first reaction is not, it's a ghost. I go through every single line of possibility in my head. And then a few weeks later, after going over all that, I finally go, yep, that was one.
So you start out trying to debunk it.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Always trying to debunk just about anything. And then that's how I come to my conclusions. Saw Blackbeard's ghost, but if you want that story, you have to sign up for my ghost store.
Shameless plug.
Yep.
Do you have any bad habits?
Oh, plenty. I've had a lot of really bad eating habits, but I've managed to curb most of those in the last couple of years. And I'm a bit messy. That and I can't remember anybody.
Is there somewhere special that you want to go to see in person?
Just about anywhere. Jamaica was high on my list. Now I've done that. Got to get all 50 states. Hawaii is high on my list. Want to see the Northern Lights. That would be cool. I'm kind of a dream big sort of person, so I've always got tons of stuff I want to do, and no matter how much I do, it still feels like I haven't done any of it. So I'm always kind of weighing that in my head. That's probably my Sagittarian nature.
Oh, Sagittarius.
Oh yes, very much so.
Alrighty. What's the most amazing thing that you've witnessed in your life?
Ooh, that's a good one. Have to think about that one for a long time. I've witnessed plenty of amazing things. I'm just trying to think of maybe what the best one would be, or maybe just a few good examples. There's one involving a hurricane, but I'm not super comfortable telling that story. That one got a little too real that day. I guess the fact that I'm still rolling. Well, here's the story for you. It might not be what you want. I was coming up from Key West one time on 95, I don't know where in Florida, somewhere maybe out in the middle of the state, maybe around Orlando. And a trucker I'm northbound, and a trucker from the southbound lane hit two cars on that side, came around, jumped the median in between the roads, and ended up flat in front of me, and I didn't even have time to stop. He covered, I think, 4 out of the 5 lanes that we just had to drive right around it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't sleep for about 48 hours after that.
That's a good one.
Somehow I walked away from that one.
I'm glad you did.
Yep, we called 911. You know, we did the right thing, but other than that, there wasn't a whole lot we could do. So.
Never had that one. I've come close with tree limbs falling.
I'm
on
sure.
Highways and things like that.
Yeah.
Never anything that intense.
Here's a fun. This one's a little bit more funner than that. Also in Key West. First time in Key West. I've been there like 40 times. First time in Key West, I was having a conversation with my dad on the phone, standing outside a bar. And I'd been standing in the exact same spot the whole conversation, and for absolutely no apparent reason at all, I took about 2 steps forward. And as soon as that happened, you hear a big right behind me. I look over, and there's a coconut that's about that big that fell directly where I was at. And I found out that night that a certain amount of people, like 8 to 10 people or something each year, are killed from falling coconuts. So I took the coconut, put a hole in it, put some rum in there, and drank my prize.
Excellent. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Musician. A musician or a Marine. My dad was a Marine, my mom was a musician. Could have been either one. Could have been both, but, you know, I went the musician route.
So you technically got the childhood dream.
Yeah, I guess so.
Excellent.
That or being a pirate, and I seem to have accomplished that one too,
Yep.
so. Check.
If you had to give a message to future generations, what would it be?
So many different angles I could take with this one. Play guitar. I'll roll with that.
Play guitar. If you could live in any time, any place, when and where would it be and why?
United States, before it was the United States, before the Europeans came over, any random native tribe, before they had to deal with European invasion. See what that whole thing was like before we kind of ruined it for them.
Very well. What do you think life will be like in 500 years?
Whew. At this rate, not much. You know, I saw I heard a figure somewhere not too long ago that said that if you transported someone in time from like the year 1100 to the year 1400, you know, they would probably adapt pretty well because almost nothing had changed. But things keep changing so quickly in our generation, in the 20th century and the 21st century, that honestly, I don't even want to think about what it's going to be like 500 years from now.
It's an interesting prospect.
Yeah.
Do you believe in extraterrestrial life?
Yeah, I'm not obsessed with it, but I mean, I think it's narrow-minded to think that we're the only people out there.
What's your favorite historical place that you've always wanted to go see?
Historical place that I haven't been to?
Yeah.
Okay. I have, because I've been to a lot of historical places, because I always try to track those down, but I've done a good job of tracking down a lot of those. You know, I always like to go see musicians' grave sites, and I've done a lot of that. I like going to old battlefields, and I've done a lot of that. Historical site that I haven't seen that I want to. That was the question, right?
Some place that's on your bucket list of, I want to go visit this place for a specific reason. Like maybe it was where Lincoln gave his Gettysburg Address, or you've never
Been
been
there.
to Gettysburg. Yeah. things like that.
Right, right. Oh. Had I not just gotten one of my big bucket list goals about going to Jamaica, I probably would have had more answers for that. I didn't get to go to Bob Marley's grave in Jamaica. I want to do that. We planned to do that, and then we found out that from where we were at, that was going to be a 10-hour tour. And far from me to shy away from an adventure, hanging out on the beach for 14 hours that day just seemed like a better idea, so that's what we did.
Fair enough. Who's your favorite historical figure and why?
Got a lot of them. I'll go Geronimo.
Geronimo?
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
Oh, he was just relentless, you know? He saw that his people were doomed, and he did everything he could to try to keep that from happening. A lot of times he went too far, but it was all because that's what he had to do. And to some extent he accomplished some of it, and to some extent he didn't. You know?
What's the first film you can remember watching?
Ooh. I don't have a clue about that one. I love movies. This wouldn't have been the first one I watched, but I guess the first one that had a huge impact would have been Star Wars.
The original?
Yeah.
Alright, gotta ask. Empire or Jedi?
Oh, so close. That's a hard one because Empire was always my favorite. But after a while, I started leaning more towards Jedi. Return of the Jedi, so...
See, I was reversed. I started out Jedi, yeah, that's the big climax,
Yep.
the epic ending, and then as I started watching more of Empire, it's like, oh, that's a bigger cliffhanger. Like, it's a who shot JR moment. They want you to come back.
Right, right.
Nice little Dallas reference there for the young ones.
Oh, you're asking me some places I want to go to. I want to see the Red Hills in the Dakotas. I haven't been there yet.
Nice.
And definitely came to mind. And I still want to cruise up the entire West Coast. We were trying to do that a couple Octobers ago. We made it over there, but we just ran out of time. We got a little over halfway up California, but then we had to turn back and start heading east. And I want to watch a band play at the Red Rocks Amphitheater.
Very nice.
I'll see just about anyone there.
Excellent venue.
Yeah. I've been there, but not during a show.
Speaking of music, what's the first song you can remember hearing?
That's a tough one. There's definitely a lot of there. I'm just not sure which one would have been first. Oklahoma Hills. Like that one quite a bit. Let It Be was probably one, although it would have been the Muppet version or the Sesame Street version, which was Letter B. I remember singing that and then being confused later on in life when realizing that wasn't the actual words of the song.
Alrighty. Pick a number, 1, 2, or 3.
11. Alright, we'll go with 2.
2. So, you've been doing great so far, but we're going to wrap this up with a word association.
Alright.
So I'm going to say a word, and I want you to just say the first word that pops into your head.
Is it too late to say 3?
Do you want to do 3?
Let's do 3.
Alrighty. Phone.
What about a phone?
Phone.
Oh, I'm supposed to say the first thing that pops in my head, or... Oh, I see. Something I'd rather not have, but I seem to have it in order to be self-employed.
Tall.
Well, I'm fairly tall, but, I wouldn't mind being a little taller.
Wild.
Wild? Me.
Drive.
What I've done way too much of over the years.
Air.
Air quality is much better in Beaufort than it is a lot of other places in this world.
Parrot.
Polly, want a cracker?
Computer.
Or the spawn of Satan. Reference to one of my songs. I had to go there.
Music.
Life. Music sounds like life feels.
Music sounds like life feels.
Yep.
I like that.
That's what our band director told us.
Very nice. Candle.
Something we have too much of in this house, and I'm afraid that we're going to burn out our house because of them.
Story.
Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail.
Excellent. Moon.
The man on the moon is a musician, and that's the way I pass the lunar day. Widespread panic song.
Ocean.
Can't get enough of it.
Monument.
Nothing really comes to mind.
Island.
Where I want to spend the rest of my life. On a deserted island.
Below.
Snow.
Spear.
Got one in my room. I'll show you afterwards. It's a real nice one. I got it at a powwow. Not super nice, maybe, but I decked it up a little bit.
Suit.
Something I wore on my 30th birthday, and barely since then.
Table.
Well, we were going to have a kitchen table, but then we decided to just put a couch in the kitchen. Good with that decision. My wife's idea, actually, so cheers to her on that one.
Sky.
You're my blue sky, you're my sunny day.
Street.
Nothing comes to mind.
Bonus.
Bonus? Something you only get as a musician when someone who's way too drunk puts way too much money in your tip jar.
Summer.
The season I live for.
Feast.
Oyster roast.
Party.
Something I seem to have done way too much in my younger days and not that much in my older days. Though I still try to maintain that I keep my party image, though. Some people would be sorely disappointed, though.
Complete.
Complete. I don't know, such a final word there, complete. The end of a test, I don't know.
Those are all my questions.
Cool.
Thanks again.
Favorite book, Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder. Very nice. Might have to put that on my Amazon list.
Yep, it's a good one.
I appreciate it, Wade.
No worries, Casper. Thanks for thinking of me.
Thanks for doing this.
Of course. Have to do the little clicker thing again. Click, click.
Nope, this one I get to just end them.
Nice.